In a Toastmaster meeting, we provide a positive and a supportive learning experience to all the speakers, in which members are empowered to improve their communications and leadership skills, resulting in a greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, it's time for me to call a presiding officer who will take you through the further proceedings. Over to you, presiding officer.
Yeah, thank you, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Kunal. Thank you for stipulate club's mission as well as the meeting's guidelines. Thank you once again. So let me ask you one question to all participants on this meeting. That public speaking is a science or it is a arts? Just think. Put your answers on the chat box. You will get the answer in this meeting only. So I am grateful to have a lot of smiling faces in this meeting. Today is our 59th charter meeting. I like to reveal a secret with you today. It's just a dime of dozen. Secret of Zakir Hussain. Why he is so famous as a tabla player. Secret of Tony Robbins, Martin Luther, Brian Tracy. Why they are so famous as a public speaker. Secret of Sachin Tendulkar, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Why the people are so famous as a cricketer. There were a lot of tabla players, there were a lot of public speakers, there were a lot of cricketers in the world. In our every street corner, just hold your breath. Today, we have one of the most talented and beautiful keynote speaker from whom we can learn how Toastmaster helps us to enhance our personal and professional skills. So I am requesting all of you to sit with your pen and paper so that you can write a lot of your learnings. From my childhood, I just told to our keynote speaker that from my childhood, I am big fan of all TEDx speaker, all Justak speaker, all the public speakers, and I salute to their public speaking skills because of it's not science, because of their arts, their skill of arts. In fact, every year I won best speaker awards in my school and college days. But still, I want to have that stage where the TEDx is with just background of my, my image. I want to have that. So I found one of the secret of most famous person is that they live out of suitcase. They just have a lot of talents in so much areas, but focus in one niche. So let me take this meeting forward by introducing our guest present in this meeting. So I just request to our Zoom master to help me to find out any guest in their meeting.
I think we have Mayur and Ashwini.
Yes, Mayur. Mayur, can you just on your video, please? Am I audible to all, Mayur? I just like to thank you, Mayur, for attending our meeting.
Yeah.
Zoom master, can you spotlight this, Mayur? Yes, Mayur. Thank you for attending our meeting. We all Toastmasters are grateful for that. Just I want to like 3 answers from you, like how you got to know about our Toastmasters.
I'm already a member of one of my corporate club, that is Worli India Toastmasters, and I got this. I came to know through that our PPPR group, and the moment I saw that yes, some TEDx speaker is going to share uh, her own experience, as you rightly said, that you also want yourself on that stage. So just to have some learnings out of her own experience, which she will be soon sharing with us. So that's why I'm here.
Yes, Mayur. Definitely in one day, we both were on that stage. Definitely. So
Yeah.
great. So just be with your pen and paper and note down what our keynote speaker is going to teach us.
Yeah.
So yes, Zoom Master, I am requesting you to have other
Manas,
guests. Yes.
we have Mansi Agarwal also as a guest.
Yeah, just spotlight her. Yes, Mansi, am I audible to you?
Yeah, hi Manas. Hi
Hi,
everyone.
Mansi. Thank you. I already thanks to attend this meeting. So as I told you that we all Toastmasters are grateful for this. So I want to know same question, same answers. So as how you know about this about our Toastmasters Club?
I actually did not get to know specifically about this club, but I got to know about Toastmasters thing from my boss actually, from my supervisor. So
Okay.
he suggested me to, I mean, I asked him that I do want to improve my communication skills, and he actually suggested me to join the Toastmasters. And I was looking to the club, and this club, I mean, I thought it will be suited to my timings and everything. So I thought of joining this, and I'm really enjoying it. This is my second meet too.
Okay, great. Really, what you are looking from that Toastmaster? What is your
Yeah,
expertise?
just yeah, I just want to improve my communication skills in terms of work specifically. I mean, professional communication skills, so that whenever I have to give a presentation or in future, maybe I'll be leading a team. So I mean, I should not feel any hesitation, or I mean any hindrance in my communication to my juniors or to my seniors or whoever. So yeah, that's what I do want to improve, and I think this is one of my areas of improvement. I do fear a lot of public speaking.
Thank you. Thank you. Definitely, you will get all this your expertise from Toastmaster only. From only the Toastmaster who build really a great leaders, great public speakers. So thank you. And be with us at the end of this meeting also. After this meeting, we have that cafe session. So we'll interact more and we'll need, we'll get to know each other and about our Toastmasters Club also.
Okay.
So thank you once again. So,
Thank you.
Zoom Master, any other member is there in this meeting?
Manas, we have two more guests who are also doing or playing some roles. So we can have a small intro of both of them. Guest Toastmaster Mohini is there, so I can spotlight her.
Yeah, Manas Moini spotlighted.
Hi, Mohini. Yeah. So,
Hello.
yeah, actually, we already interacted with you. So, just give a brief about your journey in the Toastmaster so that we will also inspire from you and be with our club and be with the Toastmaster.
See, I had joined Toastmasters when it was introduced in our organization. It was an HR initiative, and from last 1.5 years, I'm part of this journey, and this has really helped me. It was not that I was bad in it, but yes, I could speak in front of a group or something in a conference room. I had a confidence of speaking, but I had a fear of standing on a stage, and if I have a crowd, then I had that fear as to get butterflies in my stomach. So yes, I'm still on the journey, and this is the first time I'm taking any role in an external club. So thank you for Manas for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah,
Over to
thank
you.
you, thank you. So our Zoom Master, just I just like Mohini that you just change your she's our team mode of the day. Okay, just have it. So let move to the next sessions. That that with a lot of gratitude to all Toastmaster, all role players, all guests, and especially to our keynote speaker. Let me hand over the stage to our team mode. Okay, today we have a beautiful, cheerful girl, just we heard, who loves swimming and find reasons for the same. She is somebody who loves our nature, so she put her best times in plantation. She is part of our Speakathon Colvert Toastmasters Club and working as a quality management head in Siemens. She is none other than our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohini. So please welcome with a round of applause to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Mohini. Mohini, over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Manas, for your kind and wonderful words. So, good afternoon, my fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. It's my privilege and honor to welcome you all to Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. So, today's theme for the day is Booklet Guide. This is not for advertising or making someone famous, and this is also not a wordplay. This is a real story of a CA guy who is trying to have a vision of make India read. As you know, most of the reading is an important habit or important skill which one should have so that your communication skills goes to the next level. So in the further, I will also help you to understand how he's driving this mission. So Amrut Deshmukh was a CA. He left his CA job and he started his own startup. But his initial 3 startups failed miserably. One day during a casual discussion with one of his friends said that you are a voracious reader. Your reading habits can benefit people like us who don't have time for reading. Why don't you start preparing summaries and send to people like us? So he started with a WhatsApp group of 10 people. And today he has more than 10,000 users on his booklet app. So if you have a vision and if you have a clear agenda on your table, you can achieve whatever you want. So taking this thought ahead, now let me explain you how the structure of the meeting will be. The meeting is again divided in 3 phases. First is the prepared speech section, where the prepared speeches are delivered by the speakers based on the pathways they have selected. The second one is the table topic session, where we have that option of speaking on the feed skill is practiced by the members. We are not going to have this section today since we have a keynote speaker today. The third and the last section is the evaluative general evaluation round, in which the speakers and entire meeting is evaluated by the general evaluator. So now, without wasting our time, let me introduce to our tag team. Without their support, it is impossible to conduct any meeting. To keep the track of the time spent by each speaker, we have timer, Toastmaster Nayan. May I request you to explain your role now?
Hi, good evening, everyone. I will be assisting all of you to be within the specified limits allotted for a specific role and ensuring that we end the meeting on time. A humble request to all the speakers that they can pin myself on the Zoom screen, as I will be updating my background in the red, green, and yellow background as per the time allotted. Time allotted for prepared speeches will be shared by the evaluator, though in general we follow a time limit of 5 to 7 minutes. I will be updating my background of green at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, and red at 7 minutes. Qualifying time limit for prepared speeches will be between 4 minutes, 30 seconds to 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Also, we have a keynote speaker and the time allotted for her is 20 minutes. And I will be assisting her with my backgrounds at 16 minutes, 18 minutes, and 20 minutes. Also, the time allotted for Q&A is 10 minutes. At the end, we also will have an evaluation, and evaluation time allotted is 2 to 3 minutes. And I will be updating my backgrounds. Qualifying time limits for evaluation will be between 1 minute 30 seconds to 3 minutes 30 seconds. And just to give you an update, how I will be updating my screen, that will look like that. And humble request again to all the speaker is to pin myself. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Mohini.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nayan, for this demo and the detailed explanation of your role. Now, to keep a track of filler words used by the speakers, we have the R counter of the day, Toastmaster Rishabh. Toastmaster Rishabh, can we have?
Thank you, TMOD. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'll be the R counter of the day. The purpose of the R counter is to note words, sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler words. During the meeting, I'll be listening for overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. I'll also listen for the filler sounds such as I will also note when a speaker repeats a word or a phrase such as I, thank you, this means, this means. At the end of the meeting, I'll share my report when called upon. Thank you, TMOD. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Rishabh. Now, to track the good and improper usage of grammar, we have the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Libby. Toastmaster Libby, can we have you on the screen?
Good evening. Welcome Toastmaster Pinky, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am grammarian for the day. As grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any incorrect usage of grammar as well as any good usage of words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day and phrase of the day. For today's meeting, the word of the day is Odyssey. It means a long and eventful or adventurous journey or experience, or an intellectual or spiritual wandering or quest. For example, the film follows one man's odyssey to find the mother from whom he was separated at birth. Another example would be the story is about the emotional odyssey experienced by a teenage girl. The phrase of the day for today is live out of a suitcase, which means that a person stays in many different places for only a short period of time and with only enough things to put in a suitcase. For example, my cousin has been living out of a suitcase for years. Her mother wishes she would settle down already. I would be giving my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Libby. Now, I think most of the members have joined for the special speaker. I'm super excited to introduce our keynote speaker today. She loves to talk and she loves to smile. Smiling faces doesn't mean that we don't have any problems. It just shows the persistence and the zeal how we have overcome those challenges. She has played many roles, from sales to being a teacher, poet, author, panelist, public speaker, TEDx speaker, etc., etc. Let's hear more from her. Please welcome Toastmaster Pinky to share life journey of a TEDx speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster Pinky.
Thank you for that welcome. Greetings, everyone. So as Toastmaster Mohini has already said that I love to see smiling faces. So let's take 30 seconds, and for whomever it is possible, yes. Thank you, Rishabh. For whoever it's possible to switch on the videos, please do so. Let's take 30 seconds for that. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Mansi. Awesome. So before I share my journey, how about I share a story with you all? And this story, I heard it from my student. The story goes like that. It's from Africa. So there was a rabbit. He lived in a cave, a beautiful cave. It was summer, terrible hot like it is now. So he said, I will go out for a vacation. I don't want to stay here. So he left his cave and he went out somewhere. Now what happened? A caterpillar came and saw that cave. It's so beautiful. He asked, hello, is anyone there? He did not get any reply. What he did, slowly he went inside. And he saw, it's so beautiful. Nobody is there. Maybe I can live here. So he decided that this is my home from now. He was enjoying his life. Now, while staying there, he realized something, that cave had something strange. whenever he spoke, there was some kind of an echo which made his voice sound like it was voice of a powerful creature. Now what happened? 2 months passed and the rabbit came and he asked, before he could enter his cave, he saw some strange footprints. He understood somebody is in there. He got scared and he asked, who's inside my home? Who's in there? The caterpillar now knew the power of that echo. He said, I am someone who crushes the elephants into dust. Now this rabbit, he got scared. What? Someone who crushes the elephants into dust? How can I fight? He said, let me take help. So he went to other animals. Will you help me? Will you help me? He spoke to the elephant. Will you help me? Are you gone mad? Someone who crushes the elephants into dust and I'll go and fight him? No. And the poor rabbit was crying. Then the frog saw him. Hey, what happened? Why are you crying? Tell me, I'll help you. Rabbit said, please leave me alone. You are so small. What will you help me? Frog said, trust me. Tell me what is the issue. Rabbit told him everything and the frog went in front of the cave and asked, who's inside my friend's home? Now the caterpillar, same thing again. It is I who crushes the elephants into dust. The frog replied, ha! You know who am I? It is I who crushes those who crushes the elephants into dust. Now this time, the caterpillar got scared and he just came outside. All the animals outside the cave started laughing. What? We were scared of a caterpillar. Now I want you to take a minute and either tell me in the chat or keep it with yourself, whatever. What did we learn from this story? Or rather, what did you learn from this story? It can be anything which comes to your mind. Okay, never be scared. Awesome. Voice has power beyond the person, power of words. Interesting, interesting. Never thought it that way. What I learned is that problems may seem huge, but they are not always as they seem to be. Now, how does that relate to my life journey? From here, let me take you to my life journey. So I've had the most beautiful childhood anyone can ever expect. Pink rocks, Barbie dolls, whatever you said, I have. We have 3 siblings and I am the eldest. So usually, and we studied in the same school. Usually what happens when the siblings, sisters study in the same school, the elder one is called and complaint is given about the younger ones. In my case, it was the opposite. My teachers used to call my younger sisters and give complaint about me. I was so naughty. Not only that, I was always up to some mischief. I remember I was 5 years old and my younger sister was 2 years old. I told that time my mom used to give us a haircut. So told her, mom and grandma were busy with something. I told my sister, hey, come, I'll give you a beautiful haircut, a lovely haircut. She was just 2 years old. She came, she sat beside me. I took the scissors and did whatever I could. When my mom saw that, she got the shock of her life and I got the scolding of my life. My sister had beautiful curls, which she never ever got back again. So I have been so mischievous. Now, before I continue with my story, let's do a very small activity. How many of you all are best friends here? Best friends. Can I have a raise of hands? Okay. Okay. So you all have best friends, right? Quickly, let's write 5 good things about your best friend and 5 good things about yourself. No need to share with me. Just write it down. 5 good things about your best friend, 5 good things about you. Okay, we can continue this later on. But here comes my another question. While you were writing, how many of you all thought of your best friends first? Or how many of you all rather found it easy to write good things about your best friend rather than write good things about yourself? Can I have a raise of hands again? Yes. Why are we so harsh to ourselves? Why do we find it so difficult to appreciate ourselves? Why do we find it so hard to forgive ourselves? We forgive others easily, but we find it hard to forgive ourselves. Let us give a thought about it. That brings me back to my story, my life journey. So yes, when I was 14 years old, I was diagnosed with a very rare health condition, which is called Turner syndrome. Now, in simple language, I have to say you in one line, what happens is growth in a female stops just before puberty. So, of course, my growth starts. For everyone who don't know me, who have not seen me, I stand 4 feet 6 inches tall. So, what happened when, as I grew older and I shifted to grade 8, 9, 10, and beyond, my friends started staying aloof from me. I don't blame them. Maybe they thought I may not be able to understand their mature talks. So different things happened. Whenever we went for shopping, they went and shop from the adult section. Where did I have to go? I had to go to the children's section. I hated it. My memory never supported me. Not only that, I remember one incident where I went when I was in my 20s and I went to Hong Kong. And it was my solo trip. I was super excited. And I gave my passport to the immigration officer. He looked at the passport. He looked at me. He looked at the passport. He looked at me. He asked, "Where is your birth certificate?" I said, "Sir, your passport is in my hand. It's issued by the government of India. Why will I carry my birth certificate with me?" "No, I need your birth certificate." He was not ready to agree. Then more than half an hour, I was taken aside in a different room. Police officers came, some questions were asked. Of course, they had to leave me because I hadn't done anything wrong. Incidents like this led me to depression, but I could come out of it. Yes, I came out of it very easily because of my family support. My family just told me one thing: "Hey, is our love not enough for you?" Of course, it was more than enough. And then I started seeing things differently. When I started seeing differently, I realized that, okay, if I'm buying clothes from the children's section, am I not saving money? I am. Many a times my memory doesn't support me. But doesn't that same memory help me to forget things I want to forget very easily? Not only that, let me share with you a secret. Usually when I travel in flight, I purchase economy class ticket. But I always get the experience of as if traveling in a business class. You know how? It is because of the extra leg room space I get. So after that, after seeing everything differently, I started working. I got a job in Dubai and I was into sales. Yes, I have worked in sales department for 12 years and I'm very proud to tell you I was almost always among the top 3 in sales. So life was going on as beautiful as possible. I became workaholic. But then again, there was a turn. I was again diagnosed with osteoporosis. Now, this happened because I had Turner syndrome, which means at present I'm 44 years old. But my bones, which are brittle, they are like that of an 84 years old lady. The doctor told, okay, either you leave the office chair or you welcome a wheelchair. Of course, by the time I had become sensible, I left the office chair and I started working as a teacher. And my principal ma'am told me something which I still remember. She told me, Pinky, it's okay to not know. It's okay to not know everything. That gives you an opportunity to learn. And from that day, I have never ever stopped learning. In fact, when I looked at the other side, when I left that workaholic, when I was workaholic in Dubai, I didn't get any time for myself. But when I started working as a teacher, I got time for myself. That is when I got to know that, hey, I love talking. I always wanted to be on stage. In fact, I wanted to be Shushmita Sen, Miss Universe. I wanted to wear those white gloves, shake, have little wave, I wave like this to everyone, walk the ramp and all. Of course, that was not possible for me. That was not practical for me. But how about if I love talking and if I want to be on stage, public speaking is a nice option. That is when I got to know about Toastmasters. And I became a member of Toastmasters in 2017. So first of all, I was very clear with what I want from Toastmasters. I want to improve my public speaking skills. So one thing I made sure every meeting that I attend. First of all, I attend as many meetings as possible. Secondly, every meeting I attend, I take a role. And I kept that promise to myself. So that journey happened, and I was giving speeches here, I was giving speeches there, I was TMD here, I was doing master of ceremony here, and gradually I was improving. Not only that, what happened? I wrote a book. Now that also happened because of Toastmasters. It was easy for me because most of the content is from the speeches I have given at Toastmasters clubs. So I had my material almost ready with me. Not only that, even TEDx, which I had opportunity to stand on the red circular carpet twice, it also happened because of Toastmasters. So I applied and in fact, it took more than a year. So if anybody of you want to be a TEDx speaker, I got to know, yes, you will want to be. How do you apply? Go to website TED.com, attend TEDx event, see an event which is happening after 2 or 3 months because speakers are finalized 2 or 3 months before. Contact the organizers, but before you contact the organizers, see what theme they have of the event. Is the talk which you are willing to present? Be ready with your talk. Is the talk which you're willing to present, is it aligned with the theme which they have kept? Then you have got a wonderful opportunity and good chance. What video, the video which I gave them was of a speech given at a Toastmasters club. So yes, I am today what I am because of Toastmasters. But I did not stop there. I soon realized that leadership also matters. That is how I continued leadership journey also. Not only that, I also took roles which did not give any credit. For example, as a Toastmaster of the day, everyone was saying that it's important to read, and I'm someone who hated reading. Just to develop the habit of reading, I nominated myself as District 98 newsletter editor, and I got appointed. So I have been, and when I was a Toastmaster in 2017, so that was the time when you got manuals, and then came pathways, everything online. Is this the time for me to leave Toastmasters? No, I don't know. Let me give it a try, then I'll decide. I studied about pathways. Not only that, I became Division A pathways focal. So Toastmasters has everything you want, but you should know what you want from it. Now, how did all that happen? It was because I knew my skill. I knew what I want to do. And the goal which I had in mind was a practical one. For example, I told you all how much I wanted to be like Miss Universe Sushmita Sen. If yet that was my goal, do you think I would have ever succeeded? So have goals, see the practical ones, see how you can align your skills to it, and nothing can stop you. And one thing which I would say, many a times we are hesitant to make mistakes. And Toastmasters is such a place where nobody judges you. It's over here, it's okay to make mistake. For example, today I'm speaking in front of y'all. If I make a mistake today, will y'all kill me? Will anything go wrong? No. Sooner or later, y'all will forgive, y'all will forget, your life will move on, my life will move on. But what happened? I got one more platform to speak, I got one more platform to practice. Even though I made a mistake, it was fine. I'll be better tomorrow. So it's okay to make mistakes. Just know what you want, give it a try. No harm in trying. And just know what you want. And that can only happen when you talk to yourself, when you meet someone special, and that someone special is you. When you meet yourself, when you hear yourself, trust me, you will be unstoppable. So are you all ready for it? Thank you, and over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pinky, for sharing this wonderful journey with us. I'm sure we have got most of the Toastmasters in the meeting right now are inspired to become a TEDx speakers right now. I also liked the way you explained that Toastmasters, how Toastmaster is the foundation based on which the TEDx speakers can stand upon. So I really, for me, there were 3 takeaways, especially even after being a Toastmasters member. First is like making sure that I attend maximum meetings. Second is taking up roles. And third is finishing as much as speeches as possible. So because that's the platform which we have. So thank you. What an inspiration you are for all of us. So now I would like to present the certificate of appreciation on behalf of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. So may I request Sa to, yes. Thank you once again, Toastmaster Pink. It was really wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So can we have some question and answers if any Toastmasters who have some questions can raise their hands? I don't think we have any questions, but Toastmaster Pinky, since you are wearing, I have one small, before we conclude then, since you are wearing so many hats, the way you explain, which is one of your favorite hats which you like to wear?
Okay. I didn't share that in my speech, in my talk, but I've also been a theater artist, and so being on stage and performing live, acting, so that is something I love doing. And yes, it's been 3 or 4 years I've not been able to do that, but whenever possible I go and I attend workshops, acting workshops. So that is something also I love to do, and it's my favorite, because that is the time when you forget yourself, you play a different character, and that helps you, I believe that helps you empathize with people. So that's something I love.
So anyone with the questions, Toastmaster Manas, if you can help me, if someone has raised the
Yes,
raised
we
the
have
hand.
Ankit and Akarshak.
Okay, Toastmaster Ankit.
Thanks, Moini, and thank you, Pinky, for such a wonderful session and inspiring us today on a Sunday afternoon. Pinky, my question, I think some of us would also want to know, it's with regards to TEDx as a section, is that you did mention about how do you get into TEDx, wherein you apply. So I just want to understand from you, as you have been a TEDx speaker twice, what is it that works in TEDx? Now in Toastmasters, you know how to inspire people, how to motivate people. So what is that special trait that works in TEDx in terms of giving a good TEDx speech?
All right. So it is a myth that you have to be a good speaker to be at a TEDx stage. What as per my observation, what I have seen, they look, what have you done differently? Or what are you doing differently? What have you done for the society? So in my case, I spoke about my health condition, which I have. So I was among the first one in India to come out and spread awareness about it. I was doing different activities here and there about it. So I believe that is what brought me there, rather than me being a good speaker. So what I was trying to do from my side, TEDx also happened to me. In fact, when I applied for TEDx stage, I didn't even knew what TEDx was. So after a theater workshop, me and my friends was having tea. That is when my friend told me, Pinky, you should apply for TEDx. I said, okay, what is TEDx? That is when I got to know. So what they look for you is, what have you done for the society? What are you going to bring on that stage, which is going to help the people who are going to come and watch you, who are going to come and listen to you? Basically, that is what they are looking for. In fact, let me tell you all, some TEDx events also organize coaches. Coaches are there. If you're selected, they help train you to work upon your speech and all. So more than everything, what are you doing different and good for the society?
Okay, now I think Toastmaster Manas also has one question. Toastmaster Manas.
Yeah. So thank you, Pinky, for a great session. So I have two questions, and this is related to each other. I just want to know. I just saw that there were a lot of Toastmasters who have the recording sessions, and they put on their YouTube channel also. So as I am joined with Toastmasters during this pandemic, I didn't have got any chance to have a physical meetings. So I just want to know that whether that Toastmasters individuals are permitted to have that recordings. And the second thing, that whether the TEDx and Toastmasters are allowing that our Toastmasters recording in there for their scrutiny. I just have these two questions.
Okay, so that was a speech, that it was not a meeting recording. The recording which I gave, it was of my speech taken on my mobile.
Okay.
So what I shared, it was what I was speaking. So they just actually, it was not the content which I took it on the stage. That video was given just that so that understand my style of speaking, they understand how I speak and all. So the reason they asked for the video, it is for that.
Great, thank you.
So even if it's not in a Toastmasters meeting, even if you record in a Zoom personally or a video, it's fine, share. It's fine. So maybe not all organizers ask also. Every organizer, their requirements is different. The second which I gave did not ask me video or anything. But I got to know that they had seen my first TEDx talk. That is how they invited me. So that's what I'm saying. Every organizer has different requirements and the themes are also different. So first of all, be very clear if you're going to that stage, if you're standing on that red circular carpet, what are you going to speak about? That is the first thing any organizer is going to ask you.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
So Toastmaster Pinky, we have the last question from Akarshak, Toastmaster Akarshak.
Hey, hi, Pinky. Just a couple of simple questions. On a stage such as this, which is like a 180-degree in front of you, how do you work with the nerves? And secondly, what kind of a preparation do they make you go through on the back end?
So you're talking about TEDx?
Yeah.
Okay. Here again, I'll tell you, Toastmasters has helped me. Now, how? First of all, whenever I speak to anyone, we all love to gossip, don't we? Whenever we are talking to our friends, do we hesitate? No, we don't worry about how I'm speaking, how I'm looking, how are my hands moving, is eye contact there and all. No, we just speak from our heart. So whenever I am speaking anyway, one thing is fixed in my mind, I'm talking to my friends. And that is what helped me calm my nerves. Now, apart from that, the first time when I faced a huge audience, 800 plus members, it was also because of Toastmasters. It was 2019 when Eloquence, you all must have seen recently. So in 2019 Eloquence, I was one of the master of ceremonies. And it was not online, it was an offline one. And I remember I had afternoon 1 to 7 p.m. I was the master of ceremony. I remember that very well. So I remember before I was going to that stage, my knees were shaking. I was literally shaking. But once I just stood and as a Toastmasters, yay, Pinky, cheering for me, I forgot everything. And I started enjoying on that stage. There was nothing to worry about. That is what helps me calm my nerve that yes, everyone is my friend. And you're never scared. You're never hesitant to speak to your friends.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pinky. So now Toastmaster Manas, can we move to the prepared speech sections now?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, now let's start with our prepared speech round. To evaluate the first speaker for today, we have Toastmaster Meenakshi, whom now I invite to read the speech objectives for Toastmaster Monica.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Moini. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. And a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Monica. She's attempting level 1 project 4, evaluation and feedback. So the purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during the club meeting. And this particular speech is the first speech. So the evaluation that I give on this speech, she will be applying to the next speech. Timer, please note the timing is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best, Toastmaster Monica.
Please put your hands together for Toastmaster Monica. Communication Toastmaster Monica.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are. You're audible and visible.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster, and dear guests. Today, I'm going to speak on the topic, the communication. Communication is the term, we can define it as the exchanging of information by speaking and writing or using the other medium. But the communication is not only happens between the human, but also between the humans and machine too. When we interact with the machines, there is a biggest joke, as Kalpana shared in group yesterday, that when we interact with the machine asks the human to prove aren't they robots. So it's the biggest joke for the mankind. Nowadays, people are getting busy and tends to live alone. So the communication between the people is waning. In lockdown, you may have seen the many people are inhabiting to live alone. And even in normal time, the people who live alone crave to talk somebody, at least to give some order. Like consider you are at home alone and you want to listen the song, but your mobile is at distance. So what you will do? Of course, there is Alexa to work for you. You will say, just Alexa, play the song, and Alexa will work for you. So, and the next thing is that you may remember the Google's advertisement, "Bolne se sab hoga." Yeah, right. It's the Google Assistant advertisement. The life moves ahead when you talk. But if we take a look in today's world, no one come to you and ask, how was your day? No one will ask you. But still, you want to share that how was your day? And at least how was the day? It will went bad, happy, or just normal day. You want to share that all the things to somebody. So, but at that time, you will not get that person is available to you at that moment. Now, we can consider the people, the kids. The kids are, of course, I'm not talking the kids for the today's generation. I'm talking about the kids who use their doll to talk, to share their everything with their doll. That time they have their own doll to share the things. If anything happen, the kids share their thoughts with the doll. And even though that doll doesn't reply, still the kids are happy with their doll, even only by communication. So if we consider now, no one is available to you to talk at that moment. Just so here is the thing that we can consider the application, any gadget or the tool which will help us to at least listen our stupid things. Now I know there are so many tools or the gadgets are available in market. They are really human friendly, good, but still have some things where they lack, like their emotions when we share our anything with anybody, like your happiness, sadness, then we just want to see their reaction, how they react, and from their reaction we get better understanding that what we should do. Likewise, uh, likewise, I'm not saying that the gadget is really not helpful to us, but working on that gadget, it will help. So we can take the example of Google Assistant. It can keep the history of every single activity, request, command, or the response, and the conversation you have with assistant. It keeps the history of that all the things. Now, if you want to, if you express that you express about your dating to Google Assistant, Google Assistant give you the best results about the dating. Now, what you have to do, just go on that browser and just read that all the things. But who have that much time to read that all the things and follow? We need someone gives the result by orally, and we will understand it better. So also, even if you got the result from the assistant, you if you got the result from the assistant, you can work on it. Okay, then after you were dating, you need someone to share your how was it that time. You will not, if you go and share that how was your date with the assistant will not listen to you. Assistant will say, here are the result which I have found for you. Then it will take down your mood. So I'm thinking that if there any application that will listen about your dating, how it was, even it's good or it's boring dating. So likewise, the app or any application or tool which will listen and guide for the further actions. At least that application listen and make the history and guide for the further. So the here is the thing that application at least help us. So today I want to ask you that have you ever know any such application or tool or gadget?
No.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's all.
Toastmaster Monica, it was really nice. So today, let's we have a second speaker, Akarshak. So please welcome our second evaluator, Toastmaster Ashwini, whom I now invite to read the speech objective for Toastmaster Akarshak.
Am I audible and visible?
I can't see you, Ashwini, but you're audible. Yes, I can see. Yes. Yes,
Okay,
we can see you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. So my speaker, Akarshak, he is going to attempt his L1 T3 from the innovative planning pathway. And the objective of this project is for a member to practice using vocal variety or the body language to enhance a speech. Timer, please note the timing is from 5 to 7 minutes, and all the best for my speaker. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
So please welcome Toastmaster Akarshak, omnipresent love, Toastmaster Akarshak. Over to you.
Just need 10 seconds to set up. Am I audible, visible?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Mohini. There's no love, there's no pain, there's no fire, there's no gain. That's all the rhyme I can bring forth today. What is love? Hold your breaths, or actually don't, because they'll call it a crime and put me in jail. Is love a feeling, a necessity, a need just like hunger or thirst? Or is it a chemical reaction, an explosion? Is that why we are trying to concoct the perfect formula of love in the laboratory of dating apps? But are the equations really balancing? Have we yet discovered what exactly causes love? And what is it that keeps it going? What used to work for our parents and grandparents, why doesn't it work for us? Did it even work for them? Good evening, fellow denizens of this platform. Wow, that was quite a heavy start, wasn't it? This is an odyssey of omnipresent love. We have had our share of debacles we'd rather not talk about. We may have that one ex who gave us so much trauma that we need therapy now. I think before getting into a relationship, we should sign this clause that if we decide to part ways, we are going to share the expenses of therapy. Imagine we're all sitting in a boat with each of us grabbing a corner, each of us living out of a suitcase. You would stop to wonder who is rowing it. I, on the other hand, would question the number of corners. Is it 4? Is it 8? Is it 12? I would also question whether we are all facing each other in happiness or looking out to the sea deep in thought. Although people are in the same boat, they have different perspectives, looking in different directions, and they have their own version of love. Why do we follow the laws of the world? Is it because we are told to do so? Or is it because we are too scared to understand what alternatives do we have? Our life is like a telephone. You call someone and you ring their emotions. Sometimes they hear you ringing and sometimes they keep it on silent. It's a video call of love and hate. You keep them on full volume. When you like what they hear, what you hear, and you drop them when the network starts to dwindle. If you satisfy the conditions and are fully charged, you don't need any batteries to keep you going. Love is so universal. We understand so little about animals except that. Love is listening without making any remarks. Love is watching them make a move and planning their sweet, sweet revenge. Love is looking into their eyes and see them squint with joy over the face you express. Love is lying next to them when they're sleeping and thanking your lucky stars. Love is making them smile and marveling at those little wrinkles in the corner of their eyes. Love is watching them break apart and help them pick up the pieces even if it makes you bleed. Love is cooking together or ordering in. Love is those cute pillow fights. Love is pretending to watch their favorite show even when you're not interested. And love is understanding when to walk away, especially sometimes from yourself. Sometimes you realize that true love in its absolute form has many purposes in life. The love we had in our past, unfinished, untested, seems so easy and so childish to those of us who choose to settle down. Settle down. Just think about that word. People are like a collection of short stories. We are often tempted to skip to the good parts, but if we keep turning on the pages without skipping, will find a lot of surprises. Love, not only at the first sight, but at the first whisper, at the first sound, at the first smell, and at the first touch. When you love someone, you can't really unlove them ever. Of all the people you have loved in your life, they've become a part of you. They've become an indelible memory. Of course, you remember the bad times, but more than that, you miss the good times. And it's not wrong to miss a previous partner or an old friend once in a while, because that is a proof of how much love you are capable of giving. Love is a gift you give to yourself and everyone around you. It is not a horizontal line on the graph. It rises and falls, becomes zero, sometimes falls beyond that. And like a river, it ebbs and flows. You have to choose your happiness, finding it in the smallest of things. Happiness is letting go. It means embracing your flaws and working towards being a better version of yourself each and every day. Love and happiness is not always pleasure. It's a conscious choice. So find those splinters of sweet chaos gallivanting into the shadows. The looming darkness would illuminate your version of love. Thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Mohini.
Thank you, Toastmaster Akarshak. It was amazing, amazing. Okay. Now, before we go to the next round, let me give you a little bit idea about the theme. Now, as I explained earlier, this is nothing but making India read. So how many of you really feel like reading, that you think that reading is important, but you all are not able to read because you don't have time, you don't have, you hear, whenever you open a book, you feel sleepy and so on. So how many are there? I can see only Akarshak. Okay, okay. So here are some 5-6 tips which I can give. Can anyone confirm if you're able to see my screen? You can see something in my hand. Okay, thank you, Akash. So first of all, don't take reading seriously. If you take a book and if you don't like that book, it's okay to leave it half read. It's the author's responsible to keep you hooked and not your responsibility to finish the book. If you're getting bored with the existing book, move on to the next one. This has really helped me a lot. Second one is you don't have time. So try to find the time pockets. So whenever you have some time, I just remember that my old laptop used to take a hell lot of time to boot. So as soon as I used to press my start button, till the time it's booting, I have to read 2 or 3 pages. So find these time pockets. It can be waiting in the dentist clinic. It can be waiting for your train. It can be waiting for a meeting. Carry a Kindle or you can say your book along with you to fill these time pockets. The third one is avoid distraction. And you know which is the distraction? This one. Whenever you are reading for 5 or 10 minutes, keep that distraction away from you. And believe me, you will be able to finish at least 4 to 5 pages of your book. Fourth one is speed reading is key. Have that urgency to finish the book, and then you will see that you are able to read faster and you are able to take a charge of the book. This is very nice. Fifth one, discuss with people. Whatever book you're reading, you may not wait for the book to finish. If you're like an idea in that book, call a friend, discuss with him. This will also help you to remember what you have read. And this will also help your friend. Sixth one is read it and pass it on. Don't keep the books on yourself. If you have purchased, lend it to your friends. he will also try to share the ideas, what he has learned, and then it's a win-win situation for both of you all. So these were some tips for your reading. Happy reading. And if you would get, if you have any issues, if you get stuck, get in touch with me. I have also a 7th idea, which is only for some serious Toastmasters who want to inculcate reading habits. So do get in touch with me. So now moving to our last and most important section, that is the general evaluation. In this round, the constructive feedbacks are given to the speaker so that they can improve and take their communication skills to the next level. Now, I would like to hand over the session to the general evaluator, Toastmaster Ankit. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankit.
Am I audible? Am I visible?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Mohini, for such an enriching session today. Dear members and guests, general evaluation is a session in which me and my team of evaluators will be evaluating speeches and the whole session. I'll also be giving specific feedback to each and every role player. And also we'll be having evaluators will be giving evaluations of the speeches. So let's start with the speech evaluations first. We heard wonderful speeches today, and we have 2 evaluators for the speeches. The first speech was given by Toastmaster Monica. And to evaluate the speech, before calling the evaluator, I would just like to reiterate the timings for evaluation. The timing for evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes. The timer, Nayan, if I can see you. Nayan, your screen is blank. Yes. So the timer, Nayan, will be showing the green card at 2 minutes, the yellow card at 2.5 minutes, the red card at 3 minutes. The evaluator has 30 seconds grace period to finish his or her evaluation. So let's start with the first evaluation. The speaker was Toastmaster Monica, and to evaluate the speech, I would like to call the evaluator Toastmaster Meenakshi. Meenakshi, would you like to do an audio video check?
Yes. Hi, am I audible, visible?
Yes. Can you?
Yeah, just before starting my evaluation, I would request timer Toastmaster Nayan to give us the speech, how much the speaker took, the timing.
She took 8 minutes, 20 seconds.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want to pin the timer?
Yeah.
Done?
I'm not able to do that, but it's okay. I can see him on the screen. So.
Okay. Great. Toastmaster Meenakshi, over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. Good evening once again, everyone, and a special good evening to my target speaker, Toastmaster Monica. Communication. You started the speech with a bang. You started it with a definition, and then you moved on to saying that communication is not just between human beings. So I, for 1 second, thought about communication between a human and an animal, probably. And then you spoke about machines. So that was a surprising twist that I don't think anybody from the audience expected. And then you went on with your speech about communication with machines and different types of machines, the applications you went on. So overall, in your speech, the one thing that was a highlight for me was that you had the sprinkles of humor. It was like eating a plain vanilla ice cream and then you suddenly get those chocolate chips in between. It was like that. So for example, you said that, prove it to me that, prove that you are not a robot. That's what you get when you log into Google. Then you said something like, what do you do when your phone is far away? You ask Alexa, as simple as that. Then you spoke about kids with, as kids, we talk to dolls, even though the doll doesn't reply to us. And the last and the best piece of humor I thought was talking about your dating life with Google Assistant. So that I felt was really, that was an amazing part of your speech. The highlight of your speech was those bits of humor. I saw that you struggled towards the end, and I think that it was probably because you saw the yellow card and you wanted to wrap things up, and at the same time you struggled, but you went on. So kudos to you for that. So coming to my recommendations to you, so I have recommendations both with regards to content as well as delivery of the speech. So with regards to content, I was actually struggling as to, what is exactly your message of the speech? Like what exactly do you want the audience to take away from your speech. So I would recommend to you that next time when you go for the next speech in this same project, you first identify what exactly do you want the audience to know from your speech, and then start writing backwards. It could be a call to action or anything of that sort. Then with, I would also, I know that you crossed the time limit probably because you got flustered towards the end. So keep in mind about the time, since you crossed, even after the red card came, you didn't wrap up. So please keep in mind about the timing. And then I would also recommend you to have some kind of an audience interaction. I know that towards the end you asked, do you know any gadget or an app like that? And you probably waited, but again, you still, because you didn't have time, you couldn't interact with the audience. So there was one place where you could have done that when you asked that, when your phone is far away, what do you do? And you answered it yourself saying that, you can tell Alexa to play the song, but probably you could have waited over there and asked the audience to talk to you about it. So that would have been a nice audience interaction. So all in all, a good speech, but for the next speech, I would request you to challenge yourself in terms of focusing on the message that you want to convey to the audience, and then go backwards, focus on your timing, and overall it will be a good speech. And these tips will really help you in your ODC of taking public speaking to the next level. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Meenakshi, and everyone, let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Meenakshi for such a wonderful evaluation. Thank you. Toastmaster Monica, I totally agree with how Toastmaster Meenakshi gave the evaluation. And I really also like the twist that you had with respect to the machine coming in, which I didn't expect. I have never heard a communication speech in which a machine and a man was involved, or a human being was involved. So that was very creative. I also agree in terms of the delivery, it could have been a bit better. Maybe you can practice it a bit more so that you don't have to think and then speak, so that the flow comes easily, so that you don't have pauses in between. It will come with practice, but I'm sure you'll get there. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Monica, for giving such a wonderful speech. Our next speaker was Toastmaster Akarshak. And to evaluate the speech, but before evaluation, I would like to ask the timer, what was the timing for Toastmaster Akarshak's speech?
6 minutes, 20 seconds.
6 minutes, 20 seconds. Okay, thank you. So Toastmaster Akarshak was our second speaker. And to evaluate Toastmaster Akarshak's speech, we have Toastmaster Ashwini. Can we spotlight Toastmaster Ashwini, please? Toastmaster Ashwini, can you do an audio video check?
Yes, General Evaluator. Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are. Can you pin the timer card?
Okay, yes,
Timer screen.
timer is.
Okay,
yes,
great.
I can.
Okay. Toastmaster Ashwini, over to you.
Okay. My speaker, Akarshak. First of all, congratulations to you for giving such a wonderful thing. And I can say that I feel very proud and blessed that I attended this meeting, and I could hear you, because your speech was too good, I can say. And at the start of the speech, you said that, isn't it a heavy start? And I can say you that yes, of course, your start of the speech was too heavy. I mean, you started with the rhyme, and as soon as I just digest that rhyme, you started with the another content. And I'm really sorry, because I didn't noted much more points, because I was in the flow of your speech, because I was too enjoying your speech, that I couldn't note down all the points. So talking about the objectives, first of all, your content was too good, means starting, then content, middle of the part, and the ending. So overall structure was too good. And talking about the objectives, like you have to use the vocal varieties and the body languages. So I can see that you use different vocal varieties, means voice modulations at the different points, like some with the facial expressions. So you fulfill your objective. So that was great. And then when I was watching to you with your good smile, with your positive gesture, I could see that everyone was enjoying and everyone was smiling throughout your speech. So that was the success of our speech. Because of your positive gesture, it was fulfilled. Talking about the body languages, so you use very with a sincere manner, but I have some suggestions for you. Like at some points you just close your hands like this, so instead of that you can use like this in a triangular shape. So this is like emphasizing something, so you can use like this. And the third one, second one is when we are using the whole screen, you can say, like, you can consider like you are holding a teddy bear in your a big teddy bear in your hand, and you can just move your hands in this area. So these are some recommendations about the body languages. And of course you can improve your ending part, and you can try to include some of the stories or the real life examples. You use the emotions in the whole speech content, but you can use the stories, because at the end of the meeting everyone is going to remember your stories. So that's the one point. And the overall your speech, I can say I really enjoyed it. Just you have to work upon some of the like ending part and use of the humor and the stories. So that's from the my side. Thank you so much. And over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ashwini. Let's give a round of applause for Toastmaster Ashwini for giving such a wonderful evaluation. Toastmaster Akarshak, I loved your speech. As I had mentioned in the comments too, it was just like poetry. And this just brings about the quality of writing that you have in every speech that you give. So it just emphasizes that. And along with that, today we also came to see your body language as a whole. We have Toastmaster Ashwini who's given all the points that are there as a feedback. Just one point that I would also like to give along with what Toastmaster Ashwini gave is that although you had a lot of hand gestures in terms of body language, I would have loved to see some stage gesture, stage movements too. So because you have the stage wherein you have different aspects of the stage, so you could have used different parts of the stage for different aspects of your speech. So maybe that is one way. And the other is that because you are there in front of the camera, you also have the camera as a distance in which you can use for emphasizing your speech. So you can come closer to the camera and you can talk with respect to some point that you would want the audience to know about, and you can go back. So those kind of things is something more that you can try on. I'm sure you can try it in the further speeches that you have, because that creates an effect when you talk to the audience. But overall, a beautiful speech, Toastmaster Akarshak, and I would love to hear that speech again because it had so many beautiful words. Thanks. Wonderful. So these were the speeches and the evaluations that we had today. I would like to now ask the timer to give the timings for the evaluations.
So thank you, General Evaluator. Speaker 1, Monica, took 8 minutes 20 seconds, and Akashak took 6 minutes 20 seconds, whereas the evaluator Meenakshi took 3 minutes 20 seconds, and Ashwini took 3 minutes 17 seconds. So except Monica, all are qualified for the.
Great. Thank you, Toastmaster Nayan. We can now, Toastmaster Monica is not qualified for voting. In evaluations, we have both the evaluators who qualify for voting. So I would request Zoom Master Kunal, do we have the evaluation polls ready?
Yes. Shall I launch them?
Yes, sure. Please launch the evaluation polls. And I would request everyone to please vote for the best evaluator. We can have 5 seconds, 5 to 7 seconds for it. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. So now let me go ahead and talk about the session. We had a wonderful Odyssey today, wherein we had beautiful speeches. We had a wonderful Toastmaster of the Day coming and giving such an important theme. And we also have our very own timer, our counter, and grammarian. So let me first, we already heard the timer, Nayan, who's given such a wonderful timing report. I would now like to call the R counter to please present the R counter report. Toastmaster Rishabh, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Ankit Dasgupta. So this is my report for the Odyssey of today. So Manas used more than 4 times, 2 times, 2 times, filler words 1 time. Moini used crutch words 2 times and more than 4 times, 2 times, 1 and 1 repetitions. Monica used and, but and so in crutch words, and filler words and 2 repetitions were there, and there was also a short pause. Then coming on to Ankit, he used 2 times, 1 1 Kunal was flawless. Then on to Mansi, she used words 2 times, 3 times, and 2 repetitions. Then Pinky was flawless. Akarshak used just a single filler word Nayan used a single filler word and Minakshi used more than 4 times, 2 times, and 2 times. Grammarian Libby used 2 times, and guest Mayur used 2 times. Whereas Ashwini used and 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, 2 times, and 1 So that's the report from my end. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Rishabh. Let's give a round of applause for Toastmaster Rishabh. And if I'm not wrong, Toastmaster Rishabh, you're taking this role for the first time, is it? Sorry? Okay.
Second time. Sorry.
Second time. Okay. Okay, great. But great report, Toastmaster Rishabh. So an R-counter report is a one in which the role player lives out of a suitcase because he or she has to pay attention to one particular speaker at one point of time and then move to the other speaker. So great job, Toastmaster Rishabh, for doing a wonderful job as an R-counter. And now I would like to call on stage the grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Libby, to give the grammar report. Toastmaster Libby.
Good evening, Toastmaster Ankit. The grammarian report, word of the day was used by Akarshak, Meenakshi, Rishabh, and phrase of the day was used by Manas and Ankit. Trust me, as a grammarian, it feels really nice when the word of the day and the phrase of the day are used. Initially, I was beginning to think maybe the word was too difficult and nobody was using it. And then eventually I found 3 people who used it. So that definitely made my odyssey in this meeting good. Then in terms of, there was some of the speakers used some interesting words in terms of, so there were words like persistent, zest, time pockets, omnipresent, concord, perspective, indelible, ebbs and flows, illuminate, sprinkles of humor. These were some of the very interesting words and vocabulary that were used. Even there were some quotes like pick up the pieces, people are like a collection of short stories, love is a gift you give to yourself and everyone around you. I must thank Akarshak for most of these words and phrases actually. Some speakers also had some incorrect uses of grammar, like a speaker said take a charge, it is actually take charge. Or there was another phrase that was used, which was both of y'all. So that is kind of colloquial and incorrect. So it should be both of you. Then another speaker said, asks the human. Actually, it asks a human. With every noun, you don't have to use the word the. Then there was another term that used crave to talk. It is crave to talk to somebody. It's not crave to talk somebody. Then again, boring dating. It should have been boring date. Again, there was another speaker who said hold your breaths. So that is not plural, it is always hold your breath, singular. Yeah, that's about it from my end. Thank you. Over to you, Ankit.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Libby. Let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Libby for such a wonderful grammarian report. Toastmaster Libby, a very good thing that I observed in terms of your grammarian report, not only the report, but also the activity, was that you were constantly putting up the word of the day and the phrase of the day in the group, which just shows that the speakers are always, it's always in their mind that they have to remember they have to talk about the word of the day and the phrase of the day. So good job done, Toastmaster Libby, and thanks for also giving the good usage and not so good usage of grammar. Now, wonderful. I also had used the word of the day Odyssey, but I'll use it again just for the record.
Ankit, you muted yourself. You're still muted.
Ankit, you are on mute.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Your infidelity got lost in all the mute.
When did I get muted?
Right after you used your ODC.
Yes.
Okay, I think someone wanted to mute me because of that. But I had a great time in terms of the meeting was a complete odyssey, and it was beautiful because of the role players that we had today. Such a flawless meeting. We started with the Zoom master, that is our Sergeant at Arms Kunal, who gave the mission of the club. So Kunal has become like a pillar of our club in terms of this, as being a Sergeant at Arms, a Zoom master, because he's completely taken over the role and does it flawlessly. So a wonderful job to Toastmaster Kunal for doing the role of Sergeant at Arms and the Zoom master. Next, we had Toastmaster Manas, who was the presiding officer. So Toastmaster Manas, a very energetic opening. You always have that energetic opening. I think today we missed your good morning, which you normally have all the time. So, but it was very good. And also you had a good interaction with the audience. You had your own message. You had an audience, you had the guest introduction too. You asked each of the guests 3 questions and they were able to answer. One point that I can talk about is that the presiding officer role should end within 5 minutes, because we have the session beyond that. So if you see that we have a lot of guests in general, or if there are guests, you can shorten the thing. You can just ask them, please, can I know your name and how did you come to know about Toastmasters? That's it. So that the guests will also feel involved, and you would have done your duty as a presiding officer. So just in terms of the time, we can look at it. But overall, a beautiful presiding officer role that you did, Toastmaster Manas. One more thing, as Zoom Master comes before you, so you can have a small introduction of the Zoom Master also ready, because no one introduces the Zoom Master, right? So Zoom Master, the Sergeant at Arms. So that is one more thing that you can do as a presiding officer in terms of that. Great job, Toastmaster Manas, as a presiding officer, and thanks for doing it. Next, we had our very own Toastmaster Mohini. Toastmaster Mohini, thank you for being part of our club and taking up the role as a Toastmaster today. It was an enriching session that you had, and I myself was able to understand a lot of things in terms of reading. I too face a difficulty reading. I used to be a voracious reader, but over the course of time with gadgets and everything coming to picture, it's gone a bit low. But the best thing that I liked about your session was that not only you had different anecdotes, but you also had those chits ready, so which creates that visual impact, an audience can remember or they can note it down. So that was a very good thing that you did. And all the audience members, if you want to know about the 7th way, please get in touch with Mohini, because she has that surprise ready, that curiosity angle in terms of making you crave for that 7th point that she wants to talk about. So please get in touch with Toastmaster Mohini for that. And Toastmaster Mohini also had a very good transition in terms of introducing the role players and also our keynote speaker today. So overall, a beautiful job done, Toastmaster Mohini. Just one point that maybe you missed was about the speaker's timing. That was one point that we can look at. But other than that, it was beautifully done. So thanks, Toastmaster Mohini. And let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Mohini for doing such a wonderful job as a Toastmaster today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we had our keynote speaker. Although she's not present now in the audience, but I myself learned a lot of things from her session today. Not only did we see her giving her own personal story, but also she started with a generic story, and then she talked about her own personal story, and she had messages in between. And you would have observed also the pauses that she used in the points to make the impact. So these are different subtle points that make you become better as a speaker. So it was a very enriching session, and thanks to Toastmaster Manas for taking charge of this in terms of inviting Toastmaster Pinky for the session. And we all had, I can speak on behalf of everyone, I believe, we all had a very good time in terms of understanding the journey of a TEDx speaker. And I'm sure many of us now have an aspiration to become a TEDx speaker in the future. So thanks, Manas, for making this session possible. We didn't have the table topic session today, but due to the sense of time, but I don't think that we had any issues with respect to that energy, because the session as a whole had a wonderful energy. We had guests, we had members from other meetings come and be part of the session today. So it was beautiful. With this, I hope I have covered everyone today. And yes, and with this, I would like to hand the stage back to our presiding officer for the day, Toastmaster Manas, to take the session forward. Toastmaster Manas, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Ankit. But I just like to have our team model to introduce to have that goals and all the things. So Mohini, can you take over the charge and give it to me back?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the detailed evaluation of the meeting. And you had rightly pointed each and every gaps which were there in the meeting. And it's really wonderful having the feedback from you, Toastmaster Ankit. Now, may I request Zoom Master to create a poll for the role players?
Yes, I'm ready to launch them. Yes, it's done.
Are we also going to have a poll for tag team?
Yes.
We're done.
Done? Okay. Can you please help me with the certificates?
I just need to edit them. Can you?
Yeah. So meanwhile, Toastmaster Manas, would you like to comment until the time he is just updating the certificates?
Sorry, sorry, regret, I couldn't get you.
I said till the time he is updating the certificates, do you want to say something to the team or?
No, thank you, Mohini. So if your part is over, then I will like to again thanks to all role players and especially to you, to Meenakshi, to Livy, and all the role players who joined from other clubs. I'm really grateful, and we wish. Especially I look forward that in other meeting also that you will definitely part of our meetings, and yes, that in that. Keynote speaker from our Pinky Behroos, what you got, my friends? You know that one point I know, and I just observed that when Pinky applied those things. For best speaker, when I told you that, what is the best part of our Sachin Tendulkar, what is the best part of our Mahendra Singh Dhoni, what is the best part of our that tabla players, that best part is that art, what they use. Science is what it is that written, what we learned, that how our speech is that introduction part, body message, then conclusion part, and all the things. But when we give that speech, how our body language, when we are giving that pause, when we are giving our voice modulation, we are using voice modulation, all these things are art. That when Sachin Tendulkar just after making that six, he just put his head, up and down. He just put his bed on the ground. After Zakir Hussain put that all that tabla, he just put her hand on that air. All these are arts. So science we all learn, but arts we need to develop within us. So I learned a lot from our DTM Ankit also, how we need to go ahead in the Toastmasters journey. And from Pinky, today from Pinky, I also learned a lot of things and how to, apply for a TEDx speaker. It is my wish and it is my goal, one of the goal. So thank you everyone. So Kunal, if your certificates
Yes,
are
I'm ready with
ready,
this one.
Okay. So can you display and can you take the picture, or I will help you on this?
Yeah, can you help me with something?
Just a sec. Yes. I need to open. Okay. So yeah, you can display one by one certificates. Yes. So best auxiliary role awards goes to our own Toastmaster Libby from our Agnel. So Libby, congratulations. So can you, Kunal, can you put it on that presentation mode and with that is
Yes, I'll do that.
great. Yes, I got it. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Libby. Be part of our club, and I am also looking forward that you will be take a lot of roles in our club. Thank
One
you.
second, Manas, we can just put it up on presentation mode. So Kunal, just press F5.
No, it's not happening. I think it's F and F.
Okay, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Can you see now?
Yes, just a sec. I also just a sec. Just a sec. To have that great picture because
Can I stop smiling?
yeah. Yes, you are smiling. Thank you, Libby. Thank you. Yes. So, yeah, we will need to go next.
Guys, I
Hour.
can't.
You go back to your original, then try to change, perhaps. Yes, then change. Okay. Next award goes to that best evaluator, Toastmaster Meenakshi. Yeah, thank you, Meenakshi. Thank you, and congratulations to get this best evaluator award. And really, I am looking forward to your next meeting also, that you will be part of our meeting.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Kunal, can you go ahead? Yes, Akar sir, congratulations. You always just have this award certificate whenever you speak, right? So without any that, I would not give any speech when you are a speaker. So no, it is not like that. I always like to have that challenge. So definitely I will give you a speech when you are giving that speech. So congratulations once again. Thank you, be a speaker. Yes, yes, Kunal. Yes, Ankit, congratulations to be a best role player. And actually, you really saved me at last moment. You know that really to have a G like you is a great challenge for any VP. So thank you once again, Ankit.
Thanks, Manas. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so can we have a group pictures that I just request to all of you that all the participants to on their video. Right now we have 12 participants. Yes, another two members are there. Just on their video, please. Yes, great. Have a smile, please, and thumbs up. Yes. Thank you, everyone. It's a nice, cherished moment we will capture on our camera. Thank you, everyone. So officially, I'm just closing this meeting, and I request Zoom Master to stop the recording and open that our